Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Cern Files. Here we discuss all things related to internet mysteries, lost media, urban legends, and conspiracy theories. Today, for our inaugural episode, we will be discussing the origins of the Backrooms image. So let's begin. I have a binder right here full of case files related to these kind of things. So let me open it up, and here is the Backrooms case file. So let's begin discussing the origins of the Backrooms image. It all began on May 12, 2019 on 4chan. On its X Paranormal board, a thread was created titled Disquieting Images That Just Feel Off. Now, the thread was headed by an image that is most associated with the Backrooms. The iconic image was used in this thread as its header, and there were many replies featuring images that fit the liminal space category. Places which are normally populated by people, but for some reason are completely empty and have a sort of off and yet nostalgic feeling, typically for people born in the 2000s and 2010s, the Gen Z crowd. Now, one of these replies contained the story most well known for the Backrooms, but the image used for the story was a completely different image than the one that everybody knows. It was shortly after this that the story featured in the replies was reposted onto X Paranormal with the image used as the header for the Disquieting Images thread. Now, this is the original story. I'm going to read it to you. The original story for the Backrooms goes as follows. If you're not careful and you clip out of reality in the wrong areas, you'll end up in the Backrooms. It's where it's nothing but the stink of old moist carpet, the madness of mono yellow, the endless background noise of fluorescent lights at maximum hum buzz, and approximately 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in. God save you if you hear something wandering around nearby, because it sure has heard you too. That's the original story. It began to spread all across the internet and became so popular somebody made a YouTube adaptation of it, Cade Pixels, while he was still a teenager. And this became a very popular series on YouTube. It was so popular that it got adapted into a major motion picture. That motion picture released 3 months ago. I saw it myself in theaters on opening day, and it was actually pretty good. I liked it. I don't think it's in theaters anymore, but you should watch it sometime. Now, eventually, people began to search for the origins of the image used for the Backrooms. Now, they were eventually able to track it down to an earlier post on the B random board on 4chan. This thread was created on Sunday, April 8, 2018. This is where this image was first featured. This is how we found the image. Now, it was a JPEG file, and the file was a series of numbers. Now, it is theorized that this series of numbers is actually a Unix timestamp, and that it would be, and if this is true, that it would translate to Sunday, July 15th, 2012. Though this has not been confirmed, as we've not been able to find any instances of the image older than that 2018 feature on the B random board in 4chan. Now, for the longest time, there was a dead end, and there were many false leads. People created false images of the Backrooms claiming that it was from the facility that the image was taken in. People claimed that it wasn't actually real, but rather created in some kind of graphic design creation program. Though many people dismiss this idea as when the Backrooms image was created, most likely, we used that time knowledge just would not have been possible using the programs which we believe to have been around at the time it was made. Now, somebody actually added the image to the Google page for Collins Cold Storage. This led people to believe that that's where the image came from, but this was completely disproven. We don't know who added it to the Collins Cold Storage because it was anonymous attribution. Someone also made a 3D version of the background of the Backrooms on Google Earth, and people believe that this was also possibly it, but this was later discovered to be an ARG, alternate reality game. Now, like I said, there was a long stall as people actually believed that we just wouldn't ever find the image, as many hoaxes came out that were allegedly the Backrooms image or from the building it was taken in. People thought that just didn't straight up exist anymore, because the thing with 4chan is that most of their threads aren't archived; they're automatically deleted after a certain amount of time, and the only way to really archive them is through third-party sources. And most threads from 2012 and before, which is when the image was believed to have originated, just don't exist anymore. Very rarely archived. Only a few threads from before 2012 and that general time period still exist. And even nowadays, most threads aren't archived at all, really. And you have to manually archive it if you really wanted to, if it was something important. So the chances of it being found were very slim. But the image was eventually found. And it was found on Wednesday, May 29th, 2024, by the Virtual World Discord server. Now, they discovered the image using the Wayback Machine, a internet archival site. And they discovered it on a website announcing the construction of an interior RC raceway for the Hobbytown USA racing team, which was located in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. And the site documented the process, featuring multiple images of how the raceway was built. Now, through this, we discovered a second image of the Backrooms, but sadly, the other images on the page were unable to be found. So we only have the one image that was posted right next to it. But due to that, we know where the Backrooms image came from, and we even have a second image of the Backrooms as well. Now, the building that the Hobbytown USA racetrack was built in, and where the Backrooms originally was first a furniture store called Ronner's, which closed in 1994. And if you take a look at it, the image, which, yeah, it looks like it would be a furniture store, that's what many people actually believed it to be, as people hypothesized on what the image could possibly be of. Some thought that maybe it was an office building or a storage building, and one of the theories what it could have been was a furniture store. And well, they were right. It was a furniture store. And we were actually able to find images of the furniture store, and we believe to have found possible images of the exact spot where the Backrooms was taken when it was still a furniture store. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the story of the Backrooms original image and how it was found. I hope you all had a good time listening. I will see you again next Saturday. I hope you all like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and I will see you all around soon. Bye, have a nice time.